Ladies and gentlemen, we're here.
I'm part of the Kliq, isn't everybody?
Yes! 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 I got an idea, yeah. Beat up John Cena!
Give me a hell yeah!
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Too sweet! This is where the power lies!
I am the man.
Beat me if you can! Come on!
It's showtime, folks!
The following episode is scheduled for one fall, and it is for your listening pleasure. This is In The Kliq.
What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here, and sitting right next to me is my brother Tommy. How's it going?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
And joining us also is our good brother from Pro Wrestling 101 on Instagram. It's Richard. How's it going?
It's fine, Daniel. How are you?
I'm doing awesome.
Tommy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you,
That's
Richard?
good. You look good.
I was going to say, don't Tommy look like a homeless person?
That's very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Yeah, you're making fun of him because he got a haircut, but guess what? He got a COVID shot and you didn't.
I got mine yesterday.
He got his yesterday.
How'd you get that? Tell the listeners.
Through my work. I'm
How?
Essential.
I don't know about that.
And I have asthma and I'm overweight, so I have all the check boxes in my favor. And I have a piece of paper that says I'm essential as well.
They should give me one because I'm handsome.
Technically, we're one shot away from seeing you in person.
Yeah, Richard, are you happy about that?
No, I have to get my shot. That's how this works because you can still carry it and give it to me.
So
reckless, Danny. You're reckless.
So I got my vaccine shot, my first dose yesterday. Shout out Moscone Center. Amazing operation over there. Shout out to all the doctors, nurses, volunteers working. Such a smooth.
All the frontline workers are doing terrific.
Organized procedure over there. So thank
you. If you haven't got your shot yet, I heard that Danny got 3 of them, and I don't know why he got 3 of them, but he insisted on it, and he wouldn't leave.
Oh my God.
Moscone Center is so smooth, clean, organized in there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Tom and I were talking. So Tommy's second shot is less than 2 weeks now, and then mine was, about 3 weeks away. So yeah, after that, man, we'll be vaccinated, and we can hang out with you in person, and feel okay.
Probably won't happen.
So we can. So
I got problems of my own, pal.
But no, here we are back at it for another episode of In The Kliq. A lot to talk about. Tonight was WWE's Fastlane. We continue on the road to WrestleMania, have a little bit of a speed bump, no pun intended, tonight with their big pay-per-view, their first one on Peacock. And also want to give a shout out, Richard. I see you wearing your question mark t-shirt as well. Earlier today, Tommy and I watched NWA Back for the Attack, their first pay-per-view in over a year on Fight TV. I know you're trying to watch it as well, and would love to hear your thoughts afterwards about the show. But if you have a chance, check it out. I won't say anything right now, spoil anything. So for all the Kliqsters out there, if you have some free time, by all means, it's $20. Get on Fight TV and watch it. So
it's a good deal.
And NWA Power will be coming back this Tuesday as well. So looking forward to that. But yes, WWE Fastlane. First event on Peacock. This one was Peacock and WWE Network, and then WrestleMania next month will be exclusive Peacock only. So, Richard, have you had a chance to play much with Peacock so far? And
I've had a lot with non-WWE. This is my first WWE interaction with Peacock. I thought it ran really smooth.
Yeah.
I was almost expecting, a glitch here or there, and we didn't get any, but that, makes sense because they have live television channels on there, so.
Yeah, no, it was, I signed up for Peacock a couple months ago, but today was really my first time just kind of using it. And yeah, it was pretty simple. I logged on, and then on the top bar, they have all these different options of genres, and WWE is one of the genres up at the top. Click on that, and it goes to the WWE page, and then Fastlane was right there. You just click on it to start it up. And so the interface is a little different compared to WWE Network, but nothing too major.
I think it's better.
And then a lot of people were complaining, I guess, watching live WWE programming, there's no pause or rewind. Peacock tweeted out they're going to address a lot of these issues. So I think a lot of stuff, listen, anytime there's a new app or feature or something, unfortunately, a lot of times they don't have all that stuff addressed.
Who pauses a live pay-per-view?
I think people who try to get GIFs and like put stuff on Twitter, I think that's what it is.
So those people, so non-essential people are complaining.
So
non-clickbaiters.
So I mean, for me, it was fine. I mean, we just had it on and let it play and do its thing. We didn't do any rewind or anything like that. So, but I'm sure any issues people had, they were tweeting about. Peacock seemed to be on top and responding to people's Twitter posts, and looks like they're going to address it. And I would think by the summer things will probably be a lot more smoother than it is already. So, but yeah, I'll keep playing around with this, see if I notice anything as well. But over the weekend, a lot of people were venting about their various issues or giving reviews of using it so far. I'm going to keep it to a minimum until, maybe things really move over there before I check it all out. But yeah, Fastlane is now in the books. Richard, just kind of maybe your initial takeaways from the show, your thoughts on this, I guess would be last pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
For me, it exceeded my expectations, and I don't think anything was wasted on the show.
Interesting. I think Tommy and I can both agree we were watching together. A little bored. Some parts of it. I think like the second half of the show started picking up a little bit more, and we'll get into all that stuff. Yeah. But the first half, it just seemed like a little bit of drag, and just some stuff was kind of goofy and all that stuff. And so, well, let's go ahead and just jump into quickly. Did you by chance watch the kickoff show at all?
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I saw the end of Retribution.
Okay. All right. There we go. Perfect.
And that match was really good. Was surprisingly good with Ali and Riddle.
So I started watching a little bit of it. Then Tommy had tacos made, and so I went upstairs to eat my tacos, and so I missed the finish of that match. But they replayed it. I saw the clips on Twitter and stuff. So yeah, I'll take your word for it. That was a good match. But I saw the finish as far as it looks like the demise of Retribution happened. So Ali, for the last few weeks now, has been kind of venting his frustration with Retribution, and like no one's winning, and he keeps kind of getting in their face about it. And then tonight he loses, gets in their face, and then we see Mia Yim, or what's her name, Reckoning. She leaves the ring, and then Shane Thorne, or aka Slapjack, leaves the ring, and then T-Bar and Maze do a double choke slam on Mustafa Ali and walk away. So yeah, Richard, are you okay with Retribution? Looks like be donezo now.
I am. I do think that they should have had all the other members just jump him.
Oh, just complete beatdown on him?
Yeah. It seemed kind of, weak that they just walked out. Makes the Mia Yim and Shane Thorne kind of look weak.
Yeah, so I think for a lot of people, like just looking on Twitter, I think a lot of people are like, all right, it's done with now. I think it's been a very messy faction and their existence, and I think a lot of people were hoping for big things. It just never really got going.
Is Eric Bischoff the only person that can book big factions?
I don't know. Congrats to him, by the way. It was announced this week he's going to be part of the 2021 WWE Hall of Fame class. I don't know. We can maybe closer, maybe Hall of Fame ceremony, we could talk more about just our thoughts about him and stuff. But very happy for him that he's going to go in finally.
The Bish is back.
Exactly. They saw him on AEW television. Like, we got to bring him back in.
I don't think that was it whatsoever.
No, so,
Mark.
So Retribution, Dunzo. And finally, so I'm curious what they're going to do, how they're going to follow up with it on Raw this week. If they're going to give any more explanation about it. But how would you... I mean, obviously, all the members are probably going to get repackaged. Do you keep them off TV for a while? And then
who cares? Really? Like, it doesn't matter. They're a bullshit group.
Yeah, no, but I mean, there's a lot of people in that faction that people like, and so now it's like, okay, how do you get rid of the stink?
Not enough to like the group.
Yeah, but how do you get the stink off, Retribution off these people now?
You split up Retribution. That's how you do it. That's it.
Yeah, but then like what? The next night they just reappear.
Just let them be themselves. You know, just don't need a gimmick. You know, just
I'm with Tommy. I think that they just show up.
Just restart.
Okay, no, that's okay.
A clean slate.
Yeah, so you're cool with Dijakovic just reappearing tomorrow night as Dijakovic.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have to drop there being a potential feud with Ali or anything like that. I think it makes sense to most likely that they're going to feud with him, but maybe he rebuilds and gets some new guys and they actually do something real with it, because that collective of people didn't work because none of them were heels before. Shane Thorne was.
Yeah. So now it'll be interesting to see what they do next. And then so jump into the main show here. So they kicked off the main show with the women's tag titles on the line. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler taking on Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. I thought it was a decent match. Reginald was outside. I mean, it wasn't like nothing too like, oh my God, I haven't seen this already, like on SmackDown already. I don't know if there's anything else in this match that really stood out for you.
I felt like this was a lot better than the last outing.
Which is an Elimination Chamber? Yeah.
Yeah, this felt more like up to snuff for a pay-per-view quality match.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the main thing was Reginald, of course, hanging out ringside and trying to get involved, and Sasha and Bianca using him as the callus of them calling out each other and being, quote, they think they're distracted from him. And, so he gets involved. And then Bianca Belair Sasha Banks gets rolled up, and Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax pulls up the victory here. So for them to lose again, do you think this hurts the Sasha Banks Bianca Belair feud going into WrestleMania? They lost 2 pay-per-views back to back, and I'm always kind of questioning. Okay, on one hand, I see it adds tension between the two of them. Sasha Banks got in Bianca Belair's face, kept calling her a rookie, and then ultimately slapped her. So I think kind of solidifies Sasha being the heel out of the two here. But are you cool with them losing in order to add some tension to their WrestleMania match?
I could care less who wins or loses. This is like, come on. Like, it doesn't matter. Progressing the story matters. This is nothing. I mean, this all this does is progress their story. So
between the two of them, yeah,
it helps Nia and Shayna. So, like, to me, they don't have to win pay-per-view matches, especially the champion. And if the champion's a heel, they practically never have to win a match. They don't have to win a match to retain their title. That's, they got the belt. Now it's a matter of keeping it. I don't look at wrestling matches as, unless like someone's been on a streak where they just haven't won in months. Like Drew McIntyre, that 2019, I think. I don't think he won a single match that year. But then the next year he won every match. So
So yeah, it's it looks like, okay, now we're inside a few weeks till WrestleMania happens. So now I think this is going to be the launching pad of the two of them really having a beef with one another.
Well, look at it this way: Ric Flair won the world title 16 times, but that means he also lost the world title 16 times. Which one do people? What do people talk about?
His wins, obviously.
Exactly. So. And this is a throwaway pay-per-view for the most part, so it doesn't matter. Just, if anything, it helps. Like I said, helps Shayna and Nia.
Yeah, adds to their list of wins so far and their title reign so far, this current title reign. Next up, it was for the Intercontinental Championship, Big E taking on Apollo Crews. And man, this was a good match so far up until the finish.
Really good.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy, I saw you tweet out like all the German suplexes.
Apollo was pulling off the German suplexes, the fireman's carry and all that. I mean, he was playing the Kurt Angle playbook.
Yeah.
See, I liked the finish a lot. I thought the finish was like he won with a super credible wrestling maneuver.
Well, I think everyone was just confused because it was like, okay, there was a roll up and the ref was going 1, 2, and then like they were wiggling out, and I don't know if they were trying to reposition themselves, and then the ref started doing the 1, 2, 3 again, and then the announcers seemed confused and didn't know what to say.
Yeah,
and
especially Michael Cole.
Yeah, he seemed lost, and ultimately, since Apollo immediately started beating up Big E, they just said, "Oh, Big E's the winner," and then they didn't show a replay or anything.
No.
So that's where a lot of people were getting confused. Was this a botch finish? And so I don't know, Richard. Like it
looked like he cradled him and he had his shoulders down to me. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just what it looked like to me.
Yeah. So be curious, if they'll kind of review, what happened more. But do you want to see this rivalry continue through WrestleMania now?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just for me, it's like Apollo has been losing a lot of matches lately, even against these IC titles. I think he's had like 6 opportunities in the last few months, hasn't won anything.
But also at the same time, Big E's been getting his ass kicked a lot lately.
Yeah, that too. So maybe Big E is frustrated that even though he's won, he's still getting his ass kicked. So maybe that's what will fuel him to keep taking on Apollo Crews. I don't know. What do you think though about Apollo Crews still having the accent and as part of his new repackaging here? I think everything else is great. The accent thing is like, dude, just drop that.
Oh, that's awesome. He's so regal.
Yeah.
But it's just so out of the ordinary. It's like, dude, you've had your regular voice for years, and all of a sudden you're like forcing an accent. It's like the reverse opposite of Lana. Lana had a fake accent. Now she's talking normal. So it's just, like I said, a role reversal.
Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, Kofi as well. So, and then next up, we saw the news. It was a WWE.com exclusive. It looks like Shane McMahon was, doing some working out in the ring in the back and had a knee injury and looked like he couldn't perform. He was in the medical's office, and then he's walking. Elias and Jackson Riker come up to him in the hallway, and Elias just wants to perform at WrestleMania. And Shane's like, I don't want to deal with this. And then he's like, come walk with me. And then that's funny. He told Elias, come walk with me. So walk with Shane. Anyway, so they go out to the ring, he starts performing, and ultimately Shane tells him, hey, you got to wrestle Braun for me tonight. And so this was just kind of out of nowhere. Pretty much a squash match here. Braun dominated for the most part. So, Richard, I don't know, was there anything that stood out for you other than just how it was a pretty short, opportunity, I guess, to redeem Braun for the slime on Monday night?
I thought it was entertaining. That was about it. Like, typical Braun Strowman type of segment. Yeah, that's it.
So what'd you think of, since we didn't have a chance to talk about Monday Night Raw, what'd you think about just him getting slime in that whole Shane McMahon segment from this past Monday?
It's not the first time it's happened to him.
Yeah,
the interview
slime.
with Kayla?
Yeah. I know a lot of people were speculating, the fact that Shane dominated him on Raw and threw slime on him, is this some sort of punishment for something? People are always trying to speculate, like, what went on.
No, if they wanted to punish him, he wouldn't be on TV. Mm-hmm. That's how WWE punishes people.
Yeah. Well,
if you're getting any type of TV time, that means, they're investing in you, and it might be silly, but some people might like it. Just because we don't like it or internet trolls don't like it doesn't mean kids don't like it. And Braun Strowman appeals to kids.
Yeah.
He won a title with a kid.
Exactly. They should bring him back, reunite him, and then the two of them take on Elias and Jackson Riker. Book it.
Nicholas is the greatest Raw tag team champion of all time.
Exactly. And so, but no, it was pretty one-sided, match here. So they did their thing. And so I'm guessing it's gonna lead to a match at WrestleMania now. So, and that's what I think a lot of people were assuming, that this rivalry was going to build to that. So, I guess they didn't want to blow it off on Fastlane. Next up, Seth Rollins taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. This kind of came a little bit last minute. They had the run-in on SmackDown the week before, and then this week as well. Shinsuke, who's kind of like been the bystander of Seth Rollins and Cesaro issues going on here. Shinsuke is was a tag team partner with Cesaro most recently. This match, I thought it was decent. Come on, you got Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura performing. I mean, they're two, one of the greats of their peers. So it was a good match, but, it felt a little bit going through the motions a little bit. Nothing stood out like, oh my God. I don't know. Richard, did you have any different takes on this thing?
I thought this was the best match on the show.
Really? I thought the next match was the best one, but please explain.
Anytime you can get Nakamura and Seth Rollins in a ring together, like I could see those two wrestle any day of the week. It's just Nakamura got way more offense in because I figured that this is to further Seth and Cesaro. I didn't think it was going to be like a solid match. So I was very pleased with it. I thought it was very, very good.
Yeah.
And
So
especially with Nakamura going back to being the king of strong style, we get glimpses of it on SmackDown, but those are TV matches. So getting a full pay-per-view match was like, this is kind of awesome and nostalgic a little bit from a few years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, I definitely want to see Shinsuke keep getting a singles push. Now, obviously, Seth, and looks like his attention will be going towards Cesaro pretty soon, I would imagine, for WrestleMania. So where's Shinsuke fall in all this? I mean, I'm like, is he probably just going to end up in like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal that they do at WrestleMania every year? But I would like to see Shinsuke get another push, within WWE. I don't know, Tommy, was there anything else from this match here that stood out for you?
No, not really.
Yeah, so it was but like I said, these two guys, total pros, they're going to deliver. It was still fun for the most part. I'll give you that. Next up, Drew McIntyre taking on Sheamus, a no holds barred match. Guys, this video package before the match was awesome. This was, I thought, like WrestleMania quality. Just the 20-year rivalry, or just their 20-year friendship coming to a head now, former friends, now total foes, and all the issues they've been having as of late. I don't know, Richard, did you feel that way as well about this video package?
Yeah, I thought it was really, really well done. I liked how, they do that thing where someone says something, the other guy says the exact same thing, and it's just building up to this is so evenly matched. And when you look at them, I mean, they're both roughly the exact same size, and they both have a lot of similar moves in their arsenal. So, the video package got me hyped, and it lived up to the hype.
Yeah, dude, this match, I really enjoyed this match. It was two big hosses going at it, and their match from a week ago where they tore all over the ring. It's pretty much same thing here. They went outside, got the kendo sticks, like a whole bunch of them, threw in the ring. Actually, Richard, what do you think of Drew McIntyre's face paint?
Okay.
So, Tommy, was that the Scottish flag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's supposed to be kind of an homage to William Wallace from Braveheart.
Yeah.
I was disappointed for like 1 second when Sheamus didn't come out with paint on his face. I was like,
some Irish flag or something.
Yeah. But
or he could paint the Guinness logo on his face.
Yeah.
It's actually St. Patty's Day week here.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
But the match itself, I mean, so Drew McIntyre came to battle with the face paint and his war paint on. And they went to battle with throwing the kendo sticks at each other, taking them out.
It was hard to tell which cuts on their bodies were the ones that were already there from the last few weeks and which ones were new.
Yeah, exactly. So it was, so they went all over the inside the ring and then outside the ring. And it was kind of cool, like for them to go outside over the barricade and go like on the outer parts of the Thunderdome, and you see how like the TV screens for all the virtual fans, they're like layer and stack amongst each other, like amongst themselves, spread out. And so they went like way too deep inside the Thunderdome, outside the baseball field.
Yeah, it's just spilled all over the place.
Yeah, and so they were like on the outside, and then Drew knocked Sheamus off into like the electrical pit, and the sparks went flying.
Kind of like what Braun did to Bobby Lashley, remember, a couple years ago.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably Graves didn't drop a BS or holy shit. Yeah, holy shit. And so I like how at one point Drew threw Sheamus on the portable the cart, we call it with the wheels. Oh my god,
like a golf cart.
No, for crew, where you put your stuff inside a crew
production crate.
Yeah, crate, and was like use it to push him back towards the ring, and then Drew went through the over the barricade again, and then Sheamus hit the white noise on the table. So it was just like big spot after big spot. I mean, this was just a lot of fun. And Drew McIntyre picks up the victory here, and now it's official. I mean, they already announced it on Raw this week. They just announced out of nowhere he's going to take on Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. So I'm curious if it's really going to stay 1-on-1, or would they still add Sheamus somehow to make it a triple threat? I think that's something we talked about briefly last week. But I'm excited. Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley, take my money. But no, but this match itself was awesome.
Well, to be honest, I don't think Vince wants another. I don't think he would want a triple threat match. But I mean, I don't mind watching, Drew McIntyre and, Sheamus beating the piss out of each other. But I just think it's time to move on from this feud.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They've had playing matches on Raw, and
with the video treatment that they gave it and the amount of time that match got, I'm with you, Tommy. I think why do any more with it?
Right. Yeah, it was almost 20 minutes. Yeah, you're right. Because keep in mind, Elimination Chamber, they had a match kind of within a match, with there. And
I wouldn't mind seeing Sheamus and Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
Reignite that, because they had some good matches on SmackDown, if I remember, last year, right?
Yeah.
So that could be an option there. So it's interesting, like the fallout on Raw this week and SmackDown, it's going to be, I think, a little bit of last minute storytelling building up for WrestleMania, finishing up the rest of the card for both nights. So, but yeah, no, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, cannot wait. It's next up, second to last match. It was the intergender match. Randy Orton taking on Alexa Bliss. When they announced this match on Raw, I was kind of like, okay, I don't think it's actually going to be a wrestling match. It's going to be more the magic and the stuff that Alexa Bliss has been tapping into as of late with her character.
It's more so theatrics.
Yeah. It's so Randy Orton comes out, he's posing, starts puking up the black goo again and slime. I don't know what we want to call it.
I think it's licorice.
And then Alexa Bliss comes out, and Randy Charles makes the charge at her, and then the fire flames shoot up, and then Alexa Bliss is almost like taunting him, teasing him throughout the match, and like shooting fireballs at him, and like getting real, like you said, magical on this match. Richard, what'd you think of how this match played out here?
I when it was announced on Raw, I thought it was going to turn into a cinematic match, and it kind of did.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought the highlight of it was Alexa Bliss pinning him at the end.
Yeah. So a lot of horny dudes are just having dirty thoughts about that.
I know what.
Finish.
And that's the thing, which is like, so Randy, they're back in the ring again after they go outside the ring and shoot the fireballs and all that stuff. All of a sudden, we see the hand pop up out of the ring, and obviously it's the burnt hand, very much like Freddy Krueger or
Jason.
Yeah, the
Friday
skin
13th.
all burnt up,
Yeah.
but we all assume obviously that's the Fiend. And then the Fiend pops up after the fire shoots up through the ring, and the Fiend is back in this new look.
It also did remind me of the ending in Carrie.
Yeah. So, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, is burnt to a crisp. It looks like he's been burnt up for the last few months since we saw him at TLC. I wonder if he had a poop pants still from the match. So, Richard, what'd you think of the Fiend's new look? I guess of this burnt charcoal look of his.
First of all, he did not poop his pants. It was seepage from his dead body. I'm just happy that they brought him back to life.
Yeah.
I was really concerned that we're never going to see him again. And, no, I thought the look was cool. I thought Bray looked a lot trimmer than I think we've ever seen Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just all around fun.
Yeah. No, I really, it was cool seeing the Fiend back. I thought he was going to be like all healed up. So I wonder if they're going to explain how he got healed up, at least skin wise, but he's still burnt. So I wonder if they're going to address that somehow. But I wonder if this is going to lead to obviously a cinematic match between Randy Orton and the Fiend at WrestleMania. I wonder if through the cinematic match, can he like get a whole new persona, or his skin will heal up? Because I just worry. Yeah, it's like, is he going to wrestle like that? The full blown like bodysuit with the fake skin on and stuff. I mean, sorry to break kayfabe, but it's going to be interesting how they're going to do this moving forward. How this character of the burnt up Fiend is going to evolve into a regular full time wrestler again. So, but listen, I know it's kind of goofy compared to like the more realism of the other matches and stuff, but it was like barely 5 minutes long. So I just tried to enjoy it for what it was. It was goofy.
It just adds more fuel storytelling to, what perceived to be a match at WrestleMania.
I mean, and yeah, that's the thing. Like this match, it looked like it was pre-taped in parts of it, and that's the thing. Richard, I think you brought up kind of the benefits of the Thunderdome. You're able to kind of do some more special editing, pre-tape stuff, jump cuts, with not having quote a live crowd there. So this is some stuff they can use in this form of storytelling with not having a full crowd in attendance. So enjoy it while you can, I guess, until crowds return in full-time basis, and then they're going to have to do away with a lot of this stuff. All right, main event time for the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns, the champion, taking on Daniel Bryan. Edge out there as special enforcer, a.k.a. just standing there. Look like he was just pacing back and forth, staring at the ring.
Yeah.
This match for being 30 minutes, I mean, the first part, they were really feeling each other out, slow build. Then Daniel Bryan started working on Roman Reigns' left arm, stretching him and just like trying to stomp on it. I really enjoyed that part. And then Roman Reigns counter and just was going on a tear, beating the crap out of Daniel Bryan. And then ultimately, we see a ref bump. Daniel Bryan knees him. He rolls out of the ring. Edge comes in after Roman hits the spear, and Edge does tries to count for them. Obviously, Daniel counts out, and he tells the two of them like, get up, fight each other. So he started like inserting himself in the ring, kind of like talking S to both of them. And then Jey Uso
talking what to them?
Talking S. Shit.
What is? Oh.
And then, sorry, my FM terrestrial radio mindset.
Tommy,
I'm so used to not cussing.
Tommy, he cursed.
But then obviously Jey Uso runs in.
It's satellite radio now.
But the thing is, it's like Jey Uso comes running down and inserts himself, which was no shocker, though. It's like, come on. It was like, how important was this special enforcer when Jey Uso can still get involved? I mean, that's the thing. Jey Uso gets involved in every Roman Reigns match now.
I know.
So it's a little played out there, but he super kicks Daniel Bryan, and Edge gets the chair. Daniel Bryan counters, gets the chair, starts hitting the crap out of Jey Uso, looks at the ref. Ref's not in there yet, hits Roman Reigns. And then what was with Edge?
He used a chair.
Yeah, so Edge grabs the chair and hits Daniel Bryan, hits Roman Reigns, and then walks out pissed off, like,
this is my moment, he's basically trying to say.
And then the new ref comes in, and Roman Reigns gets the 3 count. So, I don't know, what'd you think of this finish here and just the way Edge was involved in all of it?
I was very concerned that we're going to get the little logo in the lower third, but that was just going to be how they ended the show. And it's like, oh, please don't do this, because they've done it a couple of times that it doesn't make any sense to end a pay-per-view that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was necessary that Edge left.
Yeah, I didn't get that. It's like, dude, you're the special enforcer.
You should stay out there and be the authority figure.
And so is he like a heel now, or
I think he's just messing around. I think he's just playing the thought of being a heel again.
Well, the thing is, keep in mind, it's like he has beef with a babyface and a heel, so he's just taking out his frustrations on both guys. So I don't think he's everyone's like, oh, he's a heel now. It's like, no, I don't think it's necessarily that. I mean, he has issues with Daniel Bryan, he has issues with Roman Reigns, so it's just at this moment in time they all have competition with amongst each other. So that's why it's not necessarily heel. It's just that's who he's dealing with right now, especially when you got 2 baby faces going at it here. It was just interesting. Like you said, he got involved and then left, and it's like didn't make sense for that. So I'm just a little confused. I mean, do you think this is ultimately going to lead to a triple threat at WrestleMania?
I think so.
I think so too. I think that they're going to find a way. I mean, they found a way for Daniel Bryan the last time that he was in the main event at WrestleMania 30. So, it's just a matter of how creative are they going to get with this.
Yeah, Richard, I was going to ask you. So, I mean, there's a lot of people fantasy booking online. Your thoughts? How about this? Hypothetically, since there's 2 nights, very much like New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom was 2 nights the last couple of years. What happened on night 1? Edge versus Daniel Bryan. Winner faces Roman on night 2. Kind of similar to what Wrestle Kingdom's been doing the last couple of years. So they'll have a match one night, and then the winner faces another opponent the second night. Is that something you're maybe interested in, or would you just prefer a triple threat on night 2?
I prefer triple threat night 2.
Yeah.
Just because you're overshadowing another world title match by having one of those matches on one of those nights. So
yeah.
Yeah, I would go with having one match triple threat. I mean, they could do 2 nights. It just doesn't for that match. It doesn't feel right. Now, had Sasha and Bianca won the tag team titles, I would say maybe have them defend the tag team titles one night, then have their women's title match the other night. So
yeah.
But for this, I would have it one and done.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting though, just like you said, the fact that like it makes sense. Daniel Bryan has reason to challenge Roman for the Universal Champion. Edge, obviously, since he won the Royal Rumble. Daniel had, like I said, the strong performance at Elimination Chamber, and he has beef with them. So both guys have legit reasons to challenge Roman for the Universal Championship. And so it would make sense if this would turn into a triple threat. And it could be a really interesting, because at this point, since we're now 3 weeks away from WrestleMania, if you just drop Daniel Bryan out of the equation now, what do you do with him come WrestleMania? Also,
how do you without Daniel Bryan? I don't feel like just about anyone one-on-one is beating Roman Reigns. That's smaller than Roman Reigns. So
yeah. So it would make sense to have maybe Daniel Bryan and Edge there. They can gang up on Roman, and ultimately one of them.
Where is Jimmy Uso?
That's the thing. I don't know. What's his timetable? I thought he'd be back by now.
So I have a feeling that there's, I'm sure you saw that Andrade asked for his release this week.
Yeah.
That's not the first time, by the way, Andrade's asked for his release. He didn't. I don't know if you were watching NXT when he originally did too.
Yeah.
Did that because he was homesick. But I think people have to remind themselves that, once they're in WrestleMania season, there are things that are written in stone there for the most part. So, you're going to get added back on the show if you're in good graces with the company after WrestleMania, but they're not going to break their plans and throw someone in the mix just because you're ready to come back.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of on standby in case something happens, break glass.
Yeah.
But I keep wondering to myself, because when Jay came out, I was like, okay, now Jay got taken out and he left. It's like, but when is Jimmy coming back? Every time Jay gets involved and he gets pushed out of the picture, I'm just waiting for another super kick to come out of, just the side.
Well, I'm with you, because Jay has gotten involved in every Roman match for months now, and you're almost okay, this is getting played out. How do you up it? Well, you get the other twin out there to do a super kick as well. So when's that timetable of his return? I don't know. Maybe, do they save that for WrestleMania? But also, another thing, remember Apollo Crews sat with Roman Reigns backstage that one night of SmackDown a couple months ago? And he was learning, he was taken under his wing, which I thought that was cool, but they never really followed up with that story. So that's why I'm is Roman still possibly interested in adding to his group? And so therefore Jimmy would make sense. Obviously it's his other cousin. And so, when would his return have the most impact? I guess WrestleMania at this point.
Yeah. I think the Apollo Crews train is on its own rails right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're not, that's nothing to do with Roman anymore at this point. But I think you're right. Probably WrestleMania, because I'm guessing Jay's going to have a one-on-one match probably with Kevin Owens.
Or maybe Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were starting to get into a little bit this week on SmackDown. So, I mean, I see what you're saying, because Kevin Owens...
But if they did that, though, I feel like that should be the very last time ever we see Sami Zayn against Kevin Owens.
Believe me, when I heard, when I saw this starting to play out on SmackDown this week, I was like, oh, not again. They've done that so many times. Ring of Honor, NXT, even WWE. So, I don't know. I'm with you. I'm a little burnt out of that stuff still. So, I mean, there's still a lot of things up in the air, but I'm with you as far as I think the triple threat for the Universal Championship is probably the best bet there. I know that Vince doesn't do it all the time, but every few years he does a triple threat, at a main event for WrestleMania. And I know Vince usually likes to end on a happy note. So I could totally see like Edge winning the Universal Championship against Roman at WrestleMania, and 10 years to the day he had to retire, and the story writes itself.
I don't see that self.
You think Roman retaining?
It's going to be Roman or Daniel. Doesn't, from what we've heard from dirt sheets, isn't Edge's contract only for X amount of matches in a year?
I think originally it was like a 3-year deal, and I think he had a minimum do 5 matches a year, if I remember correctly. But I think they can always add to it. Yeah,
which would mean they pay him more, which they might have the money for. But that's if that rumor is true.
Yeah.
So, I think that you would almost. At this point, do you think fans would be happier seeing Edge win it or Daniel Bryan?
I think
that they wanted Edge originally, and then the fact they dangled Daniel Bryan in front of everyone, they're like, oh, yes.
And there are talks that Daniel Bryan said this is his last year wrestling full time. So I think a lot of people have the back of their head. They want to see him have one last hoorah as a champion, even though he was champion not too long ago, within the last year and a half.
Edge is a bit of a floater because originally he was on Raw.
Yeah.
So
I can go either way. I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards Edge just because the story of 10 years to the day he had to retire, he's back and he had an opportunity to win the title, and he wins the Royal Rumble. So it kind of paints that nice picture of like you win the Royal Rumble and from the number 1 spot over an hour in the match. So, I mean, it's something we can debate for the next few weeks and see how this story plays out more on SmackDown side of things. But overall, I would say, like, I thought the first half of Fastlane was a little slow, little just like, all right, there's nothing really, oh my God, outstanding. The second half, I think from Seth Rollins on, that's where things started to pick up and just, kicking ass. And the main event I really did enjoy between Roman and Daniel Bryan. Just Daniel Bryan worked his ass off with Roman and big guy versus little guy and all that stuff. It was a lot of fun here. So anything else, Richard, from this show that you want to mention?
The Old Spice commercial was very entertaining.
Was that Rick Buggs from NXT?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. I was like, he's the guy that does the air guitar. He hasn't been on TV in forever.
Yeah, he had that one match and then he has been back.
I mean, he's always posting videos on Instagram of him working out, but I was like, when's he going to actually wrestle again?
Because I like him.
Yeah, he's like, he screams all the time. So, I don't know, Tommy, anything else from Fastlane you want to mention here?
I thought the match, the main event between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns was a very good pace. I mean, it was slow, but I think I liked how Daniel was playing mind games with Roman, trying to grapple with him, even though that's not Roman's game plan. You know?
Absolutely.
So that's what I enjoyed about the pay-per-view, the main event itself. So.
Absolutely. So good stuff. So here we are officially. Nothing else is on the books until WrestleMania. We can focus on that. So it's going to be fun, man. Fun times for next few weeks. It's all going to be good. All right, let's go ahead and start wrapping things up. Richard, where can all the Kliqsters find you online?
You can find me at Pro Wrestling 101 on Instagram, and please send your hate mail to @BabyHuey83 on Instagram and Twitter.
Thank you for that. Tommy, how about yourself?
Yeah, you could just find me on Twitter and Instagram at IronFist1982.
And I'm Baby Huey. Follow me on Facebook at Baby Huey Official, Twitter and Instagram at Baby Huey83, at In The Kliq as well on all your favorite social media platforms. Subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform as well. InTheKliq@gmail.com. Get the merch. And we'll be back very soon with more stuff going on in the week that is pro wrestling. So thank you once again for all the support. And on that note, let's go home. And that's the bottom line because Huey said so.